Good afternoon. My name is Jennifer Ely. I'm with the Department of Health and Human Services in the Office of Consumer Affairs. And today, this month is Mental Health Awareness Month, May. And today we had a proclamation with the governor. And what we're going to do today, we have our guest, Barry's, who is here to discuss mental health. Our guest, she is no stranger to the Health and Human Services system. Bree has been a public servant for the last 15 years, passionately serving across the Midwest and advocating for the most effective and available services and resources for individuals across the spectrum of public health. Bree has had the opportunity to serve in various direct roles, from overseeing group homes for individuals with disabilities to working with individuals experiencing homelessness. As a director of an overnight homeless shelter. Bree has been with the division for 5 years. Today she serves with the Division of Behavioral Health as a program specialist. Hi, Bree.
Yeah, hi, I get to work with you.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're both in the same division.
Yeah, I love being a part of the Division of Behavioral Health because we really do get to focus on wellness and mental health and have this conversation.
Right.
We get to talk about mental health.
So, Bree, you were at the proclamation today.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What was it? Can you just kind of share with us how you felt about that? Because I know we've had some conversations, and it was pretty impactful for you.
It was really impactful for me. Being a part of the proclamation, Governor Ricketts, Director Dawson was there today. Really special being able to declarate this month and proclamate the month of May. Proclamate the month of May. Mental health awareness, and a week in this month is even children's mental health awareness, which is really cool too because I have some great experience, but I have a family too. I have a 6-month-old and a 4-year-old, so children's mental health is really important to me as well. So I'm super excited to be here and really appreciative of this opportunity.
No, thank you for coming, and thank you for sharing with us.
Mm-hmm.
I know that we were going to talk today about mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's always a hard conversation.
Always a hard conversation. And why? Why is it so hard for us to sit down and talk about mental health, to call our family and check in, how are we doing? Right now, we are going through a time in our lives that I don't think anybody saw coming, and the impact that it's had on all of us. Every person has experienced the last couple of years differently, and it really does impact our mental health. A year ago, I can't believe it's already been a year, I had just started with the Division of Behavioral Health, and Sherry would talk about, taking care of our mental health and how important it is for us to do that, because we're going to be facing some big things in the coming months with, the pandemic. People experience trauma, up to 18 months and after the event happens, and that was a big event for many people. We all experience that differently, but we all have our experience. And so I think it's important for us to pick up the phone and call each other and say, hey, how you doing? I heard the governor say that a couple times today, but pick up the phone, call your family. How are they doing? How are we doing? Let's talk about it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I hear you saying real life issues, that we've experienced in the last couple of years, what's the message around those real life issues that you really were passionate, you really are passionate about?
Yeah, it goes back to a little bit of perception for me. We all experienced everything differently, and we're all experiencing our own journey. And I think for me, the journey a year ago when I heard Director Dawson talking about it was make sure we're taking care of our mental health. And at that time, I was struggling a little bit. This year marks for me 20 years since I have been diagnosed for severe depression. And I didn't realize it until I picked up after the pandemic and sought counseling, sought therapy, that my mental health didn't go back to where I started. So 20 years ago this year, I was diagnosed with severe depression. And at the time, obviously, I felt very alone. I was experiencing very alone. But I ended up getting some help in therapy and entered recovery in my mental health. By the time I graduated college, I still had to address things with my mental health sometimes. You still have to be able to recognize when things aren't well, just as you would if you had diabetes
Right.
and your blood sugar was low.
Right. Physical health, mental health, the same.
Yeah, absolutely. We're coming off of a really difficult time in a lot of people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
We've all gone through something, and it's okay not to be okay. You know, we share a time in our life where many things have happened to each and every one of us, but together we've experienced that. You know, we've shared these experiences, and, you know, as a collective piece, we've experienced a shared trauma. And it's really important right now to take a moment to look at ourselves and say, where am I? What do I need to do to be well?
Do you have cues that prompt you? I mean, do you have tools? I'm going to jump to the tools question.
Yeah.
Do you have tools that you use to help you recenter, refocus?
Definitely. Well, and it's funny you talk about cues because I do have cues. I get really hot. And I have to fan myself. I get really hot. But I have tools. One of them is this journal I get every month. It's a wellness journal. And every month there's a different topic, and it's different wellness activities you can do throughout the month. Our division is amazing. We have Wellness Wednesday. So every Wednesday we focus on a wellness activity to share within the division. I mean, all of these things are really important tools. I have an app on my phone that tells me affirmations.
Tell us about
You're
that
gonna
app.
have a
You've
great
been
day.
telling me about
Yeah.
that. So tell me about the app.
My app is called I Am, and it's just an app that sends you an affirmation. I'm going to have a great day today. I'm going to think of things in the fullness of the grateful heart that I have. Like, just nice things that you can, like, look at and tell yourself, maybe even read aloud, post. You can post them on Facebook to inspire other people to feel better. You know, I think it's really important when we're talking about, you know, our health, to talk about that mental health and to share and be okay with when we're okay and when we're not okay.
How do you verbalize when you're not okay? Do you just say, I'm not okay? Or what, I mean, what advice would you give to somebody who's not okay? What would they say? What
So
should
for
they
me,
say?
Yeah, for me, depression is interesting because a lot of times it was very alone, and it continues to be. I internalize things. I start to take things very personally. The people who are closest to me in my life, they can identify when these things are happening right away.
Right.
And they can help me see that I'm starting to take these. You know, I think Dr. Daniel Amen calls them ants, automatic negative thoughts. Right?
Oh.
We all tell ourselves
A-N-T-S.
A-N-T-S, automatic negative thoughts. We tell ourselves a lot of these things, you know. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a working mom, and I have a lot of things going on. So sometimes I don't get to the dishes, or I don't get to the vacuuming, and, you know, I say, oh, I should do this, I should do that. Those negative thoughts catch up. But here I am working and doing amazing things and, you know, impacting a lot of people. I don't always have time for that. And so then I have to rely on my village, my family, and being able to, you know, communicate is really important.
So I know that you've shared that your family was very supportive of you and is your village.
Absolutely.
What would you share, or what would you give to people who might have loved ones that are experiencing symptoms? And how should they reach out to those loved ones that they would like to help?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it's important right now to just check on everyone. Check on your mom and dad, check on your friends, your family. How's everybody doing right now? And make sure that people are well. Make sure people are doing well in their life.
What should families do to what
To
advice
support.
would you give? Yeah,
Yeah.
to families that might want to support someone who's experiencing symptoms.
When you ask me that question, I think about how I would tell it to my husband, because he has never had a diagnosed mental health, and he often tells me he doesn't understand, and I would just say patience is really important. Patience and being willing to communicate and talk about it, to just open up and talk about it.
What is the most important message about mental health and stigma and that you wanted to communicate today?
I think the biggest message I wanted to communicate today is just that we've all been through a lot. It's just really important right now to open up this conversation, call and check on each other and say, how are you doing? All of you, your physical health, your mental health, what's going on with you, and just be there and be supportive of each other and realize that we've all been through something, and just we'll get through it together.
Bree, thank you for coming today. Thank you all. Remember, this is Mental Health Awareness Month, and by having these conversations, we increase awareness on stigma and open up the conversation. So reach out to those you love, and recovery is possible, and there is no health like behavioral health.